My brothers and sisters, I want to share something with you that many will not understand, but the wise will understand. We are here at the end of the world, and our probation and fitness to receive the latter rain is about to close. My brothers and sisters, I need you to pay attention to what I am about to say. In the last video I did, I told you how it was revealed to me when the judgment of the living, starting with Adventists, began, which was September 26, 2023. I also told you that God had shown me that the anti-typical slaughtering of Ezekiel 9 would begin on December 4th, 2024. I have been shown of the Lord and have done a video stating that calamity would strike on December 4th, as I have been impressed of the Lord. On December 4th, 2024, Russia will attack and cause great devastation to the United States of America. In my human reasoning and understanding, I believe the only event that could fulfill what God was telling me would have to be a strike from Russia on the United States. I could see a chain of events sparking from that, leading to a Sunday law and everything we know that is to take place thereafter. But my brothers and sisters, like William Miller, I was wrong as to the event. But the date was correct, as well as a subsequent event that signified the beginning of the slaughter. My brothers and sisters, as I covered in that last video, the slaughter of Ezekiel chapter 9 and 10 deals with the sealing and outpouring of the latter rain onto Seventh-day Adventists. Subsequently, any event pertaining to the fulfillment of those chapters would have to be directed towards Seventh-day Adventists, meaning that the slaughtering event to take place on December 4th, 2024 would not be against America the country, but the Seventh-day Adventist Church as a denomination. My brothers and sisters, not a day before nor a day after, but on December 4th, 2024, a slaughtering took place at a Seventh-day Adventist school in California.
Right now at 11, who is he and why did he do it? Tonight, investigators are searching for answers, and 2 kindergartners are fighting for their lives after a man opened fire at their school. All of this unfolding in Oroville, a small city in Butte County, southeast of Chico.
There are several new developments at this late hour. The FBI is now involved, and we have an update on the kids who were shot.
NBC Bears' Gia Vang is in Oroville. Gia, so many questions tonight, including why this person targeted that very small school and those children.
Jessica, Raj, now investigators, they all really just left the scene within the last 5 minutes. Earlier tonight, they were working along this side of the school along Highway 70, trying to clear that scene. That's where the body was found. Once they cleared it, they were able to move into the school to search for answers about exactly why and how this unfolded. Late into the night, investigators in white suits used a metal detector and took photos, carefully inspecting this part of the scene at Feather River Adventist School on Highway 70 and Cox Lane on the outskirts of Oroville. Hours earlier, just after 1 p.m., shots rang out at the Seventh-day Adventist School, and around 35 students and their educators ran for their lives.
I also saw the shooter go across a window, like pacing back and forth, and then we were running to the gym. I looked back and I saw a shadow with a gun, so I told most people to run even faster.
The California Highway Patrol got the first 911 calls, and a trooper was the first on scene just a minute later. The same time, a neighbor across the street, Candy Vieira, went to check her mail.
The first responders and the cops were they were on it. They were coming from north and south, and I never seen so many.
In a news conference, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honey says multiple agencies showed up, his officers just minutes later at 1:14. They found the suspected shooter dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound and rendered aid to 2 students who had been shot. One had to be flown to a hospital.
Both boys 1, 5, 1, 6, both attended the school and were in kindergarten. They are currently in extremely critical condition.
The sheriff isn't releasing the identity of the suspected shooter yet, but investigators say he was an adult who had no known connections to the school. They also say he was dropped off by an Uber driver. Sheriff Honey says the suspect met with administrators to inquire about enrolling a family member at the school. Shortly after that meeting, the sheriff said was described as cordial, the suspect began shooting.
We're trying to determine the veracity of that statement as to whether or not he actually was there to enroll or talk about enrolling a student, or if that was instead a ruse to get onto the campus.
Investigators now think the shooting could have been targeted because of the school's affiliation with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They put other affiliated schools in the area on alert, all while students were bused to Oroville Church of the Nazarene to be reunited with their parents. We're told everyone is home tonight, but now left to wonder why.
You can't understand it. I can't understand it. So I just hope to God those children are well and get better.
And we will learn much more tomorrow afternoon. That's when the sheriff is suspected to have another update. Back to you.
Now, my brothers and sisters, God, in his loving mercy, spared the lives of the 2 victims in this situation. But the event is marked as the beginning ground, and the rest will fall into place. My brothers and sisters, this is no mere coincidence. The wise will understand, but the foolish will rejoice that there was not an attack from Russia as previously anticipated. There were many who gave up their faith at the great disappointment of 1844. But those who remained went on to become the Seventh-day Adventist Church. God uses disappointments to test his children. Don't misunderstand me, my brothers and sisters. The events surrounding the slaughter of Ezekiel are solemn. Children were critically injured and traumatized by the attack on December 4th. But that was mercy towards the victims and mercy towards you and I who will receive this warning and put away sin. This slaughter event of December 4th confirms that the sealing began September 26, 2023. That means that spiritually, since December 4th last month, the sealing angel has almost finished with his work, and the destroying angels are close behind him. This doesn't mean that any Adventist not sealed is going to drop dead or die of some sort of calamity, but it means that their eternal destiny is fixed for destruction. That's why this message is so important, my brothers and sisters. The choices we make in the next few weeks will determine our eternal destiny. Once we are sealed by the sealing angel, that's it. We are locked in. We will suffer persecution and tribulations, but we will be equipped to go through it with the outpouring of the latter rain. The battle will have been won, but we will go through the motions until the second coming. My brothers and sisters, this is the time of our visitation that many will miss and find out too late. The Sunday law test is for the people of God coming out of Babylon. We as Seventh-day Adventists are the messengers of that test. We are being tested and prepared and qualified right now to be able to give that test in the future. If we are sealed now, we will keep the Sabbath during the mark of the beast crisis, while the sheep not of this fold are being sealed. Remember, we are the first fruits. If we are not sealed by the sealing angel before the crisis starts, then we will not have the protection and spiritual fortitude to stand during the Sunday law crisis. Simply put, right now is the moment of our salvation. One angel is sealing, but 5 are slaughtering. That means that the rate in which probation is closing on individuals is faster than the rate in which people are being sealed. That's why God commanded the man with the writer's inkhorn to go out first before the men with the slaughtering weapons. Now check this out, my brothers and sisters. I'm just sharing this next little tidbit, but think about it. Let's do a little math. The sealing began September 26, 2023. From that day all the way to December 4th, 2024, the sealing angel has been doing his work. That's about 15 months. So if it took one angel 15 months to go through Adventism, sealing people, and he's still sealing, then 5 destroying angels can cover the same ground in 3 months. 3 months from December 2024 brings us to the beginning of March 2025. Now, I already told you about March 10th. This is just putting 2 and 2 together. My brothers and sisters, this message isn't so much about a date, but being ready for the event. I was shown March 10th as early as I was shown December 4th. And I was shown December more than a year to that date. My understanding of the event could be off, but the timing is lining up. How many of the people who saw that last video might have put away their sins temporarily, waiting to see if America would be attacked, only to go back to them once it was clear no such attack happened? How much of a stir would it have caused if I had mentioned specifically a school shooting? My brothers and sisters, we are living in a sifting time. Surface hearers and believers have to be separated from those who genuinely are following on the path. And we all must be tested. I especially. There is no test like the one the messenger bears when he gives a message that appears to not come to pass. My brothers and sisters, looking back at my understanding of the slaughter to take place, it could not have been against the United States, because the sealing isn't for the citizens of the United States as a whole. The slaughter of Ezekiel 9 is specifically for Adventists. It has both a literal, symbolic, and spiritual application as to its inception. Jeremiah chapter 51 verses 40 says, I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. God had warned us that we were about to enter the slaughter phase of Ezekiel chapter 9 on December 4th, 2024. And on December 4th, little lambs of the Seventh-day Adventist Church were slaughtered by a gunman. God spared the 2 little lambs' life because the message was sent and received. Ezekiel chapter 9 verses 5 through 6 says, And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. My brothers and sisters, if God will not spare calamity and the slaughter to come upon little children, what of the leaders and elders of our denomination, along with you and I? See the handwriting on the wall and wake up, my brothers and sisters. We are here.